All right, welcome to the conversation now. And, well, President Bola Tinubu addressed the removal of subsidy on petrol, emphasizing that it was a crucial measure taken to prevent Nigeria from going bankrupt. Now, speaking as one of the panelists at the ongoing World Economic Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, excuse me, the president of Nigeria, Tinubu, highlighted the necessity of the action. Well, the World Economic Forum meeting focuses on global collaboration, growth, and energy for development, provided a platform for Tinubu to stress the importance of this economic decision. And well, you may recall that President Tinubu announced the removal of subsidy on petrol on the day of inauguration. That's May 29, 2023. This is what now? April 29, almost a month left to make it one whole year. Well, however, this policy led to a spike in commodity prices and increased hardship in the country. Well, Tinubu defended the subsidy removal, stating that it was necessary to reset the economy and pave the way for growth. He reiterated that the decision was made in the best interest of the people, despite the expected challenges. Well, Tinubu also pointed out that the removal of fuel subsidy would promote accountability, transparency, and fiscal discipline in the country. Additionally, he addressed the issue of exchange rate unification, stating that government management of the nation's currency was necessary to enable the Naira to compete favorably with other world currencies. Oh, well, we have with us in the studio, we still have Mr. Akin Fatunke, who is an economist, a communications consultant, a big player in the oil and gas sector, and a public affairs analyst. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
Right beside him is Mr. White, Emmanuel White, dressed in white with gray beards. All right? Good to have you join us, Mr. White.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me come to Mr. Fatunke now. Well, the president did say the removal of subsidy will encourage accountability and transparency. But Nigerians will argue and say we haven't seen the transparency in the whole process, because he did remove subsidy, but the cankerworm that was eating it, the cabal, the cartel, were not fished out. And Nigerians are still groaning. In fact, hardship seems to have increased.
Moses, you were introducing me and you said I'm a public affairs commentator and a communications analyst. But let's leave the economics. Let me clearly, as a Nigerian, see how proud I am to see my president at the World Forum had the opportunity to articulate, and I think he did that very, very, very well. He did what needed to have also been done in 2012. I think the jury is out that the fuel subsidy, no subsidy issue was not being properly managed. But we are also right that the implementation became a problem. There was still a lot of opaqueness. We are really not sure if black is black and white is white. We are not seeing truth in the whole gamut. I like to say to him, like I've said to any angel or devil that occupies that seat, that the courage to take that decision was spot on. The implementation, unfortunately, plus the trust was not there. Look at your statement. Did we know some of the bad boys and bad girls who have despoiled us? Yes. So why are we not capturing them, even if it is one or two, if it's one or two or three, and to make a good example? Well, to answer that, I would say even Buhari made an attempt, and it was like a little here and there. The political will to do that was not there. But more importantly, when Mr. President was talking about inclusiveness and communication. No, sorry, Mr. President. Yeah, at the worst stage. Yeah, you need to speak to people the way you spoke, but back in country, I personally have not seen the kind of good example that you talked about it being inclusive. Almost invariably, yes, I recognize that in February 2023, before you came in, the same NNPC said we were paying 400 billion a month. So my economist comes in here and now. Beyond that, I know the thing is going into trillions. It was not sustainable. Yes, Mr. President is right that we eventually will have to go bankrupt. But in doing that, we needed much more planning and we need much more transparency. As we speak now, I still believe strongly that we are still paying subsidies.
I was going to go there, really.
Truth must at all times be told. You
All
understand the point I'm making?
Okay, then. Let me come to Mr. White now. Now, the president has said what he has said, but your view as a Nigerian living in Nigeria, would you say there seemed to be like Nigeria has been saved from bankruptcy? Are we not going deeper into what seems like a miry clay in terms of the economy and also the subsidy removal and the attendant, the concomitant effect on the lives of common Nigerians?
I want to say this. Since Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in as the leader of Nigeria, he has always betrayed his party.
Betrayed his party?
Yes, for governance failure. The government transited from one APC government to another APC government. And if the president is saying always that the government has failed before he came in, it means APC as a party and government, ruling government, has failed from the onset, even while Buhari was at the head of affairs. Each time the president
some actually would say that that is a pattern, because when APC came in 2015, it was about the PDP failing, and the talk about the PDP failing lingered up until the end of Buhari's term. They still talked about all the 16 years of the PDP, how the PDP did not give Nigerians anything. You think that's a pattern to just look for somebody to blame?
Let me tell you, when PDP was transiting government to PDP government,
To APC.
to PDP government,
Okay.
you understand? There were no complaints like that.
Because it was the same party.
Because it was the same party, and things were better off. Yes, things were better
in
off.
comparison to
Yes,
what
in
exactly?
comparison to what we have. So things were better off. So that is the point I'm trying to make. If you now come in there, your party was holding sway for whole 8 years after coming in, complaining and condemning the PDP government. And you told the whole nation that when you get there, these are what you are going to correct. Now,
Is he not trying to correct those things?
they came in throughout the 8 years of Buhari. It was blame on PDP past government till we get to where we are now. 8 years, we didn't see anything tangible, from Buhari for Nigeria.
Well, do you believe that the Tinubu administration has, one way or another, saved Nigeria from bankruptcy?
Far from it. Far from it.
Why
Why
so?
so?
Yeah, because you have just said it. If you go to the market now, commodities are on the high side every
Do you think
day.
it could have been worse?
Yeah. there's no way it could have been worse if the government was careful to remove the fuel subsidy. And removing the fuel subsidy, we now discover that there were falsehoods in it. Now they still pay subsidy. Now federal government said they no more pay subsidy. El-Rufai came on air and said this APC-led federal government is still paying subsidy. Okay, fine. If you say you are not paying subsidy, 400 billion in a month, multiply it by 11 months, and let's get what we get there. And where is that money? And why is it that we are still suffering? Why is it that we are still besieged by poverty? You know, why is it that we are still besieged by commodities prices skyrocketing in the market? These are the things that would have made people to know that the present federal government is getting things right.
Okay. Right. No, you know, to you now, Mr. Fatinke, when we're talking, you also made mention of what the president said in Riyadh, you know, during the forum. He actually said so many things, even about security issues, agriculture being where Nigeria is channeling all its energy to now, and so many other structures. But some Nigerians were of the opinion that those actually were more like a falsehood, that they are the ones here in this country receiving it, and the federal government actually is not really doing what they are portraying outside there to have been doing in Nigeria. Do you also share that idea also?
No, I don't share the idea.
Okay.
I think when you are sinking, when you are in a sinking situation, to splutter, to be eventually sink, but to say that the president went out there and did not state the truth about Nigeria. I also want to put it on record that for the very first time, like him or dislike him, we got a president who understood the dynamics. We could have a part of those dynamics, no doubt about that. But understood the dynamics, and like Paul on his way to Damascus decided to see light. I said, right now I'm at the cockpit. Let's begin to say truth to ourselves. It's going to be very, very hard. Talking about food security. Are we saying we didn't see the trend? I know it's worsened now. We didn't see the trend in the past 20 years, past 22 years of our coming back to democracy, this very expensive democracy that we are running. No, nobody should pretend that that is that. Secondly, if you look at the political economy, we are not saying that Buhari and this guy is taking the baton and all that. I will say clearly, if an angel came in on May 29, he's going to meet the same thing. He's not going to get a magic wand. Albeit, the character, the example that will begin to show as a leader, like a Moses, who decides that he believes that he must take his people to the promised land, even though he may not get there. But those self-example helps and sway. So if a Peter Obi came on board, he's going to meet exactly the same thing. If Atiku came on board, if Kwakwansu came on board, it's going to mean the same thing. Now, it's high time we all begin to look at a half bottle or half empty.
Well, you did say
so. That's how.
Sorry, David has a question. Let me just allow David to.
Okay, so that half bottle or half empty bottle is what we should be dealing with now.
Okay.
I agree with everybody that is suffering in the land. The president acknowledged that. Everybody acknowledged the fact that is how it's supposed to be. It is no more going to be like a Messiah coming and then he would do a magic wand when we are not producing.
You did say that there hasn't seemed to be actual truth coming from the presidency.
Yeah.
Because let's look at the issue
yes,
of currency unification.
Yes.
Which was one of the things he talked about.
Yes.
In Riyadh.
Yes.
How that was necessary.
Yes.
To save Nigeria from further depreciation of the economy.
No. To get the true value of the naira.
To get the true value of the naira.
Okay. Yes.
But CBN has abandoned the unification of the naira.
Yeah.
They've abandoned it.
Yes.
If that was needed to get the value of the naira up, why abandon it at this time when the naira hasn't exactly stabilized? Right now, it's in the papers today. Right now, customs rate has gone up. Duty
rate.
clearance is about 1,164 naira to a dollar.
Right.
The NAFEM, Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, has gone up to about 1,339 naira,
Yeah.
23 kobo to $1.
Yeah.
And then Bureau de Change has gone up to 1,021 naira to a dollar.
Yeah.
So we have abandoned the unification that we brought in. Is it trial and error now?
Oh no.
You want to respond, or should I come to
Yes.
White?
Yes, it's trial and error. It's trial and error for the government. You know, they don't have solution.
You think they don't?
They don't. They are grouping. I'm telling you the truth. That is why all these statements comes here and there. You go outside the country, you make a statement there, you come to Nigeria, you apologize to Nigeria, telling Nigerians that we know you are suffering, we know they are suffering in the land, bear with us, and then very soon things will be okay. Governance is not about religion. It's not about preaching for forgiveness. It's not about preaching for patience. You came in there, ministers are there, state government commissioners are there, every ministry in place, and then you are expected to take off and then put things that are not right. I'm not preaching patience and telling us that we should hold on, and we are holding on, and it's getting worse.
right.
We are holding on. It's
Don't
getting
you think
worse.
it is
No.
better?
So let's get your response.
You
now.
said, I said the government is not saying the truth. These are obvious. Is there been a government in Nigeria that has always said the truth?
Why would you
No,
say
hang on.
unification of the naira was needed?
Because we are
And then
not
you
going
take
to
it
the
out
realm
again.
of economics.
Okay.
That's why I
Did
threw that to
you hear the CBN governor? Did you hear the CBN governor says to you that it's going to be regulation and strict regulation? Did you hear him also say that, okay, yes, we are going to try and adjust and amend? That is how governments are run. Okay, so because Tinubu said it's going to be unification, so it's going to be one-way traffic. No,
So you do agree that it's trial and error.
it cannot be trial and error.
So what do you call
It cannot be trial and error. I think the right decibels are being made. We are getting right results. But that right result.
But the
Hang on. Those
Naira
right
is losing grounds
results,
against the dollar.
you are looking at monetary policy. Do you know where we are coming from? Has Nigeria forgotten where we are coming from? Do you know that people are already running away from Nigeria?
Oh, but people
That
are
is the
still
truth.
running. We know where we're coming
Still
from,
running.
and we know that it's even worse.
Oh,
in
come
Nigeria
on,
right now.
no.
We come
It's
from-
like you say you have an emergency on the road. Oh, you know where we are coming from. You are full and better now. Your car has crashed and you are losing blood. So you say because you know where you are coming from. No, that's not economics. The point I'm making is simple.
Okay.
The Tinubu government has come. Yes, there has to be all opaqueness. In between, they are saying they have to try and do some adjustment. The custom things that you mentioned, initially it was not to be ramrod. Now they are adjusting. When this government came in, you remember all the banned things and all that. This same government now said, look, yes, we did it at that time, but we are not going to allow that to open. But what has happened is that we were not producing enough. And then we still had the issue of security. It will be very, very uncharitable for anybody to not then say, because Tinubu came in, the issue of security is awful, the flooding, the planlessness that we've had for over 20 years. He has his own share of blame. But let's face the brass tacks. The problem of Nigeria has come in relation to the foreign currency is that we also need the physical to begin to work. And it's that much he said. You are not going to get it like, yeah, he got there, and then you are not going to begin to fix problem. The only problem I have with this government, which I want to agree with my dear brother here, White, what about the character? What about the character? What about the good example?
Now, if you talk
What
about
making
character,
sure that you need to do that?
character, would that also align with the fact that they are not saying the truth to Nigerians? Because the president did say some few weeks ago that he was going to stop farmers' headers clashes in 3 weeks.
Okay.
Now,
so,
over a month after, we still have several of those clashes happening. Now, he's gone to Riyadh to say that Nigerians are practically enjoying, I'm paraphrasing what he said, are practically enjoying agriculture, which, as we speak right now, the farmers are not even in farm. Insecurity is still bedeviling us.
Again,
so would that be a character of not saying the truth
we need to understand
Nigerians?
David, I disagree with you that the president went out there and didn't acknowledge the fact that there is hardship, that he didn't acknowledge the fact. It was open. Please go listen. I listened to it. That he didn't acknowledge the fact that, yes, we have food insecurity problems and that it's going to be very, very hard. No, don't let us say that. He acknowledged that fact, but however, the issue of character that you are now saying that is true. From the onset, before we started, I said, yes, that is an issue. That how are you showing us the good example as a government? It's falling. In fact, in that respect, and that is not an issue. The issue now is the fact that can we therefore say, based on where we are at, so a government came, politicians came and told you, David, that I'm going to stop farmers' herders crisis, and you believe that in 2 days, 3 days, that is going to be over.
Not politicians, president.
So we should not believe the politicians.
Excuse me, the president is a politician. Unless if you are not, you see, the president is first and foremost a politician. He got in there as a politician, and he got there. He said he's going to make attempts to reduce.
So basically, we should take the words of politicians with a pinch of salt.
That's all. And then the words of also
is that not politics 101? That is not even Nigeria. That's all over the world. Right. Politicians will not always tell you the truth. So if politicians say that they are going to turn you into a cross gender, you believe that?
The falsehood of this government continue to expand, and it's touching on everybody.
Falsehood? How exactly did you mean?
Yes, that is the same thing we've said now.
Yeah,
the government will say this is what they will do, and will now discover it that they have no power to do that.
Is it that they don't have the power?
They don't.
The will.
They don't. They don't have the power. They don't have the willpower to do that. But they will say it. Now we have a government that will always tell you we want to. We don't have a government that will tell you we have done so. We need a government that would tell us,
do you think that
this is what we have done?
Do you think that in about 11 months, Nigerians are expecting too much from this administration, seeing that the administration inherited, a lot of inherited a baggage, inherited a lot, and they're trying to fix things. Are we expecting too much from this administration in about 11 months? It's 11 months now, isn't it?
APC inherited baggage from APC government. That's good. That's interesting.
I think that's about the whole.
If you want to be fair, we'll know that even though it's APC, they've had internal wrangling between them. The previous APC had a cabal that were a cabal that was influencing the president at the time. This president may not have that cabal, may not have agreed. And you do recall the Naira swap deal that came up at that time basically played against this current administration.
I disagree. It would have been even better off. The Naira swap, yes, because the Naira notes we have now, they are mutilated, dirty, cut into pieces, and in fact, the bank even rejects some of the notes that you take to the bank. That's that. Now, is it only a Mayfield that was committed to that? Is it only Emefiele that actually committed the offense? Where are those around the former president? Where are his clannish people that he put there that have enriched themselves so much now?
Another thing is,
you understand?
Another
Where are they?
No,
Why
he has a very, very good question.
Why
Where are they?
Where are those ones?
Mr. White, did you hear about Sadia? Do you know where she is now?
Yeah.
Humanitarian affairs.
She's been
heard about her.
investigated.
Have you heard lately about Sirika? Oh, Sirika. So nothing is happening to Sirika. My point is this. Look, when we are looking at economics, we better, shun ourselves of politics. And to come to a side, politics and politicians and politicians, APC will have done exactly the same thing. They did exactly the same thing to Jonathan. Coming back to our discussion. However, what has been different is that during Jonathan's time, we had technocrats that were talking and making the point. We didn't see Jonathan as a person. At that time, had that opportunity that this president has.
So is it
today.
a plus now that the president is the one doing all the talking?
Well, it's a plus now that the president is now hands-on. We now have a surgical situation on hands, and it comes in now. If we are now then saying that, like he said, that we are still being opaque, which is true, it's still being opaque. And those work in progress are the things that we must put the feet of this president on fire. He's coming back home. He's going to see a lot of long queues. He's going to see the fact that electricity tariff is gone up and we are not getting light. Of course, he knows, and he knows a lot of those things. One of the things I'm expecting is that he comes back and it's to move towards his 1 year, they make a decision to either reject the administration and put it on a path of growth. But we now have a president in my mind who has been articulate, yes, is the character of the articulation such that is going to now translate, I disagree with Mr. White, to say Nigeria has not done anything, he has not taken an action. Okay. He took the action, but the actions are harsh or not, no doubt. We cannot continue to
Could it have been done better? Could it have been done better?
It could have been done better.
Okay.
Look,
but unfortunately, it wasn't.
Anybody would have done better. That's economics. You can't have a perfection on a fixed cost basis.
Let's consider that your concluding thoughts. Let's get your concluding thoughts on this one.
We are passing through hardship.
Okay.
The president traveled to Saudi Arabia.
We have about a minute, please.
Yeah. Did he travel as a person passing through hardship?
How do you mean?
Your entourage.
Was there an entourage?
No, should have gone like a Mansa Musa. Should have walked through the desert.
Your private jet, your executive jet, and all that.
So are you saying that
now I saw a governor. I saw a governor in a train in UK. A serving governor in a train in UK, stand with no seat. Will he do that in Nigeria?
Oh well.
Okay.
Oh, is that the first one?
Would that be your concluding thought
when you know that your country is passing through hardship and you are going somewhere, you must
because
show
we're out of
it.
time on this one.
You must show it.
All right.
But the
Thank you very
president
much,
is not
Mr. White and Mr. Fatunke. We'll take a break now. When we come back, Tina?
All right, we'll be looking at how Peter Obi have decided to ask Nigerians to pray for politicians so that they will be able to, judiciously expend public funds. And as much as we're talking about economic situation in Nigeria, we have to now pray.
We need to pray. All right.
Exactly. We'll discuss this after this
times.
quick break.
Interesting times indeed. We'll be back in a bit.